All right, I'm just going to get right into this. This is why you're stuck and can't make any more money. Now, obviously, this is a brand new channel. I don't have any videos here whatsoever. So you're probably wondering, why should I even listen to you? Well, I made multi six figures online when I was 18 years old. I've got a YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers. I spent 10,000 hours studying money and psychology, which makes me an expert, and I've been coached directly by some of the biggest entrepreneurs on the internet, including Nero Knowledge, William Brown, and Charlie Morgan. Now, here's the bad news. You're not going to get any specific business strategies on how to make more money in this video. There's nothing specific about like stock trading tips or how to get more sales calls or more clients or anything like that. So if that's what you're looking for, this video's not for you. But here's the good news. What I'm about to show you can be applied to literally any line of business that you're in, whether it's stock trading, coaching, writing books, writing music, insurance, literally anything you're doing, this video will help you. So let's just start off with the reason that you're not making more money. And there's probably a lot of different reasons that you could think of, but you might think it's because you haven't done enough outreach, or maybe you think you need to read more books about money psychology, and it might even be that you just don't feel skilled enough in whatever it is that you're pursuing. And the truth is, it has nothing to do with any of those things that I just said. And I'll prove it to you right now. Let's say that you take a guy who wants to make money from making music, and he can play every instrument in existence. He can sing higher than Celine Dion, and he's a pro when it comes to production. But when he goes to actually write the lyrics, he's constantly second guessing himself. And every lyric he writes, he's saying, "Oh, what if people don't like this?" or "This isn't good enough." And because of that, his lyrics are just inauthentic and forced, and he's not actually writing to his highest capability. And as badly as he might want this to work out, no matter how many songs he puts out, no matter anything he does, no one's ever going to respond, because even though he's taking action, it's not the right action. And he's just going to get caught in this loop of always creating but never get anywhere with it. So taking more action does not create results on its own. Here's what it actually has to do with. So I want you to think of money like it's a woman. What happens when you feel like you don't deserve a woman? Or when a guy gets so desperate and clingy that he starts texting her 1 billion times a day? She ghosts him, right? She doesn't want to see him anymore. Money is the exact same way. The more desperate you are for money and the more you chase after it, the faster it's just going to run away from you. I mean, do you ever notice that a lot of times guys who women are just naturally attracted to are also naturally good with money? And you might think that there's some causation there, that because they're good with money and they're really rich, well, that's why all these women like them. But this isn't really the case, because these guys are just confident in general. They're not worried about not making any money or not finding the right woman, because they have so much confidence in themselves. They just know it's all going to happen for them. Just like women are attracted to certain men, money is attracted to certain people. If you're watching this, odds are you're putting a lot of effort into making more money. And if you're earning $10,000 a month, let's say, maybe you keep telling yourself, well, once I'm at $30,000 a month, then I'll be good. And in your head, you keep saying, I'm not making enough money. And that just makes you feel more stressed. So you grind even harder, and then you stress yourself out even more. But the painfully ironic part of this is that taking more action like this is actually going to cost you money. Like the guy from earlier, he can keep writing as many songs as he wants, but if he's constantly second guessing his own lyrics and not liking his music, he's never going to get anywhere. Most of your current beliefs, whether it's about people or money or whatever, they stem from childhood, because until we're 7 years old, our brains are constantly in a theta state, which just means that your subconscious mind is always open. And this is why kids are so impressionable, and why childhood trauma is more everlasting than anything else, because everything gets planted deep into your subconscious mind. When you have a belief in your subconscious mind, that's it. It's there, and no amount of conscious thinking or forcing can ever make that go away. You're always going to find a way for reality to play out so that your subconscious beliefs somehow come to fruition. So let's say that somebody has a subconscious belief, I'm a sloppy person. The odds are they probably don't really consciously think about this very often, but if the belief is ingrained in them enough, in their subconscious mind, they're always going to be a sloppy person. They'll have a messy room. Their desktop's probably organized. They throw their clothes all over the place, whatever. And even when, every once in a while they try to make a change and clean up after themselves, eventually they always revert back to their sloppy ways. And this is because no matter what you try to do, your subconscious mind will always rule your conscious mind. Your mind always wants to prove itself right. If there's a belief in your subconscious mind, one way or another, it's going to play out in your reality. When you're working on your business, if you're constantly saying to yourself, I need to make more money, or why can't I make more money? Then you're ingraining that very concept of not making more money into your head. And every time you say this to yourself, you're reinforcing the subconscious belief that you don't have enough money. And because your brain wants to prove itself right, you're never going to have enough money. Even when you make what you right now think is enough money, once you're making that, it still won't be enough. So even if you reach your goal, you've become so convinced that you don't have enough money that, you'll just set a new goal and you'll just be right back where you started, completely unsatisfied. But here's the good news. You can change your subconscious beliefs. It's very simple. You need to stop chasing after money. This doesn't mean that you stop working on your business or doing the things you need to do to make money. All it means is that you keep persisting, but you learn to do so from a place of ease and flow so that money just comes to you. This is why I was able to make so much money at a young age, because I was only 18. I wasn't inundated with all the pressure to grow up and get a job and start making a living. I was fresh out of high school. I didn't even know what money was. So because of that, it just came to me so easily. But how do you do this? Well, I want to ask yourself, why do you want more money? Do you want a Lamborghini? You want a house? You want to travel the world or retire your parents? The truth is, whatever your answer is, once again, it's wrong. Yes, these things, they're very important and they can 100% give you a better life. But some of you watching this, myself included, have probably seen it for yourself. You get these things that you want, and then you realize that you don't feel any better. Now, notice what I said there. You don't feel any better. I mean, when you get hungry, what's your first thought? Just to eat food, right? Maybe you want pizza or a salad or a sandwich. But the truth is, it doesn't matter which of these things you actually eat. All that matters is that you feel satiated. You want to not feel hungry anymore. That's the real reason that we eat food. Money is the same way. You don't want the house. You want the feeling of security and safety. You don't want to travel the world. You want the feeling of freedom. Or if we go back to women, you don't even want a girlfriend. You just want to feel loved, for someone who appreciate you as much as you appreciate them. Even if we raise the stakes, let's say that you need the money because someone in your family needs a surgery or something, right? As important as that is, it's not what you really want. What you want is the satisfaction and the relief of knowing that they're better. So if you just decide to be happy now, you'll start making more money. This is why millionaires go to Buddhists to be happy, not the other way around. But is it really this simple? Can you really just decide to be happy now? Yes, and I'm going to show you how. But first, you have to rewire your brain. The significant problems we have cannot be solved at the same level of thinking with which we created them. Albert Einstein. By creating a business through stress, guess what? You're just creating more stress for yourself. If you build a business and you're constantly burning the candle at both ends, you're losing sleep, you're grinding out emails or content, or whatever it is that you do, money's not going to make that go away. All it's going to do is get you to a place where you're making a lot more money, but you're extremely stressed and burned out while you're doing it. So a few years ago, I was working with this, he was a life coach, let's call him. The guy was pretty successful. He was making 5 figures a month from a few clients. And this guy was a grinder, all day, every day. He was always posting to social media, doing live calls, recording footage for his courses, whatever. And then one day he decides to do an in-person meetup. Because of this, he had to step away from the business for 3 days. Everything fell apart. Just this one weekend where he was hosting a meetup, the sales calls standards were not being met, his live coaching fell behind schedule, and he was getting much less interaction with his content. all because he built a business that required him to be present 24/7. And sure, he was making money, but if he stepped away to enjoy his life, there was immediately a drop off. The more desperate you are, the harder it's going to be to grow your business. When you're in lack, your brain just is locked into this survival mode. You know, that anxious, frenetic feeling that you're constantly in when you're working. It's just going to make it impossible for you to organically think of any new ideas for your business. But if you let the stress ease off, suddenly it's like this channel just opens up. You know, and ideas start flowing into your brain like you're an award-winning writer, and you don't even have to try. The thing is, people can feel your energy. Like, imagine you walk into a job interview and you studied everything you need to know. You even took a course on how to ace an interview. But when you go to give your boss a handshake, you're so nervous that you're trembling. You know, you can't even look him in the eye. You really think he's going to want to hire you? No matter how much you project your voice or manage your intonation or do whatever you need to seem like you know what you're doing, if deep down you're feeling inadequate, everyone will sense it. And what this means is that on the surface, if you're just going through the motions but you don't actually feel secure in what you're doing, then it's just not going to be aligned with what you're trying to do. You know, potential clients, connections, followers, everyone will be repelled by the negative energy that you're putting out because you're so desperate for just one of them to move the needle for you. This is why bad music or bad movies can actually still become extremely successful, because if someone's confident enough in their ability to do something, they're going to get it done because they think it's good. That's all that matters, is that the one person thinks it's good. I mean, think of how many movies made so much money and you watch them and you're like, oh my God, this is awful. But it doesn't matter because whoever made them, he loved it. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Their belief in their work was so strong that people are just instantly captivated by your sheer passion and faith in it. Like, that's why there's a lot of different stories about any kind of artwork, really, where they were like, you know, this really doesn't seem that commercial, but I just love this guy's energy and I gotta read this. That's what happens when you're just going with the flow and doing what you feel like because you're not stressed about it. You just know that you're doing what you want to do. So ask yourself, how would I feel if I had more money right now? Just on a day-to-day basis. If someone came up to you right now and handed you all the money that you wanted, how would you feel? Would you feel free? Would you feel secure? Would you feel excited? If you felt this way now, don't you think your business would be a lot easier to run and probably start making more money? That you'd feel more happy and fulfilled with your life, even aside from the money? By feeling free and secure now, not only would money be easier to make, but your business would be easier to run and you'd feel better about running it. Since you're going into it from a place of freedom, you'll automatically create a business that promotes the very freedom that you desire. Making money won't make you more stressed out or have to work harder. If anything, it'll just make things easier for you because now you're not coming from a place of fear. So it's very simple. If you want to start making more money, you just have to give yourself the feelings you think you would have if you were making more money. And think about it. Let's say you buy a lottery ticket and it's for $500 million. You turn on the TV, you watch the announcement, and when they call out the winning numbers and compare them to your ticket, you win the lottery. What's going to happen? Your blood's going to pump, your heart's going to race, and you'll feel like the happiest guy on earth, right? But you haven't actually been given any money yet. I mean, sure, you just found out that you won it, but it hasn't physically gone into your bank account. But you still had these feelings. So if an announcement on television can give you a feeling, why can't you just do it for yourself? And once you've given yourself these emotions enough, you stop questioning it because you're associating this emotion with the event of making money. So you're literally tricking your brain that you've already done it and you stop needing it to happen so much. You'll stop being so stressed about money and just do it easily without even thinking because you've already done it. The emotion is the thing that you really want. And when you feel the emotion of achieving something, you no longer feel the need to achieve it. Disclaimer, you're not going to lose motivation from this. A lot of people think that stress and anxiety are required to work hard, but it's just not true. Intellectually, you'll still understand the importance of money. This just makes it so that you're no longer under its whim and that every little thing that threatens your chances of making more money don't just make you freak out. Basically, you just stop making emotionally irrational decisions. If a client leaves you or you get fired, you literally won't care. you'll be able to just say on to the next one and move on with your life. So here's how to give yourself these feelings. First, get yourself into a relaxed state. And this is important because when you're relaxed, not only does it become easier for you to summon these emotions, but it opens the door to your subconscious mind. And again, when you access the subconscious mind, you can plant anything you want. And the key to doing that is emotion. So if you're not really sure how to get into a relaxed state, you can literally just lay down for 5, 10, 20 minutes, however long it takes until you're relaxed. And you know you're relaxed when, like, you know, your body kind of feels lighter, and it's just kind of like this, you know, that's the best way I can describe it. And then once you're in that state, visualize telling someone how much money you've made. And make sure that when you're doing this, you feel the emotions you'd feel as if you were actually doing that right now. So if you went and told your best friend, I just made $15,000 this month, or whatever amount it is for you, how would you feel in that moment? You know, would you be excited to tell him? Again, would you be relaxed? Would you be confident? Whatever it is, the emotion is even more important than the visualization. So if you're worried that, like, you can't see it that accurately, just focus on summoning the emotions you would feel in that moment, and just do this over and over again every single day until you just don't really care anymore. Seriously, right now, go try this. Think of a scene like the one I just described and make sure that you elicit the right emotions. Even if you do this for 5 minutes, I guarantee you're going to feel better afterwards. But if you want to work with me one-on-one, click the link down below. I will help you identify and remove whatever is blocking you personally from making more money in your business. Whether that means figuring out what emotion you want or creating a visualization scene, you will inevitably start making more money when we can pinpoint your subconscious blocks, which is exactly what I'm going to help you do.